Petition gatherers will once again be allowed onto the property of the Minnehaha County Administration Building near 6th and Main.
Digital producer Donovan Miner joins us live from the First Alert Now desk with the latest on this story. Donovan, good evening.
Good evening, Brian and Andrea. Minnehaha County and the group Dakotans for Health reached a settlement that could avoid ongoing litigation. While those gathering petition signatures have been a common fixture near the entrance side of the building, the county issued changes, barring those seeking signatures to remain in a predetermined area 53 feet away from the administration building. Now, the settlement creates several changes that both parties agree to, including petition circulators staying out of the area directly in front of the admin doors and in a place where people with disabilities can get in and out of their vehicles. The agreement also removes a requirement for those with petitions to check in upon arrival with the auditor. The changes from the settlement will be presented to the Minnehaha County Commission, which will include a public hearing and a commission vote. Live from the First Alert Now desk, Donovan Miner, Dakota News Now.
All right, Donovan, thank you.